Hey guys, this is Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm jumping in with a hashtag video that I have created with the help of my friend Sherribug D. The hashtag is hashtag Triple Goddess Tea. Sherribug D had said maybe I can make a video coming up with different type of tea recipes that I have when I'm trying to invoke certain energies. So whether there are teas to invoke more masculine energies, you can make teas to invoke more feminine energies, or to invoke certain goddesses or gods or whatever it may be. And I really like the idea of a triple goddess tea, so a maiden, a mother, and a crone, trying to invoke all those different energies. So I actually have a specific tea for each of those different types of energies, and I want to explain those to you, the types of magical workings I'm looking for when I'm drinking that tea, what I'm trying to invoke when I am trying to bring in more of the maiden energy, or when I'm trying to bring in more of the mother energy, or more of the crone energy. So let's go ahead and get to that. I have my teas right behind me, and so let's take a look-ski. I do have to point out that make sure that you always check with your doctor before trying any type of herbs or supplements or anything like that, because you never know if you might have an allergic reaction to something. So these are just teas that really jive with me and all the ingredients, but definitely check the ingredients, check to see, if that's okay with you, if it's going to counteract any types of medications you guys are taking. Or maybe you don't have to drink it as a tea at all. You could burn it on a charcoal. You can, try to rework this and make it your own. So let's jump into it. So I have my 3 different teas here. I have what I consider to be my maiden tea, my mother tea, and my crone tea. So let's go ahead and look into each of them and why I have chosen the particular herbs that I have. So the first thing that you'll see in here is I have a lot of hibiscus. Okay, so I love hibiscus tea. I love that it turns the tea red. So yes, so I have a lot of hibiscus tea, and if I'm trying to invoke maiden energy, then I'm trying to invoke a lot of just like love and carefree and all the things that we think of the unburdened, young woman or child running through a field of flowers. That's kind of the feeling I get with that. And so if I'm looking to invoke more of a playful energy, more fun, I will bring in obviously my hibiscus for love, for lust. And here we have rose hips. I like to go in 4s and 3s sometimes. So I have my rose hips here, and of course I would crush all of this up in my mortar and pestle, but for rose hips I like the kind of feeling of luck, that the maiden tends to have a lot of luck, that youthful luck. If you go over here, these are actually rose petals from my garden, and I love to make sure that if I'm going to use any type of roses, it's going to be from my garden. I think it gives it extra, oomph. And these particular petals I consider to be the most magical because it's one of my favorite roses in the garden. And, the colors just get so deep and pretty when they're all dried out. But for rose petals, again, love, peace, carefree. I always like to incorporate at least one of my, the rose leaves. So, I don't know, I kind of like to add that into my teas. That's just a personal preference. And next in here, you'll see we have raspberry leaf. And raspberry leaf is again for love and for magic, that magic of youth, of carefree, of fun, and just, joy, all around joy. So again, I would crush this all up. I would tear apart the pieces of my petals here and make this a wonderful tea. Okay, the next tea that I have here is my mother tea. So for mother, I'm thinking more of trying to birth new ideas, trying to come up with new creative ways of doing things. If I am experiencing a blockage in something, I feel like mother energy can help me navigate it in a loving way. And so the first thing I have in here, which is very fragrant and smells really good, is my echinacea.
and echinacea, all not only being really good for your health, and I always think that mom's good for healing, things like that, but really good with money. So if I'm trying to birth something, maybe I'm trying to bring in money, but also I see money as abundance. So I'm trying to bring in lots of abundance. So I'm doing that with the echinacea. Over here we have my jasmine. Oh, and as you guys know, one of my favorite flowers is jasmine. Jasmine is my favorite flower of all time, and I love it. But jasmine, again, money, abundance, new ideas, divination, prophetic dreams, really diving into a more mature state, but at the same time being able to, still birth things into reality. And then over here, you see this lovely purple flower is my lavender. Lavender, again, for love, for peace. As you know, some mothers are looking for peace, for sleep, so also very calming. So bringing in that abundant energy, just like we would with the maiden over here, but doing it in a more peaceful, graceful way, instead of having that erratic, chaotic energy. Okay, and then over here, the last ingredient I have is elderberry. And I try not to use too much elderberry, and you have to be careful with elderberry. Don't crush it up. There are different types of elderberry. Some of it is good for consumption and some of it is not. So definitely always check what type of elderberry you are buying, what color is it, and is it okay for consumption. But for elderberry, I believe this to be really good for, again, sleep, peace, healing, and prosperity, that abundant energy. Okay, moving right along to my crone mixture. So for me, this is like getting kind of dark and deep and shadow work, and working with some heavier energy. And so the first thing that I have, if we turn this around, is my blackberry leaf. And I have this for healing, but also for protection. I really see this as being very protective. I'll use it in sachets around my home, or maybe even bring some to school, as I feel that it brings a very protective energy. So the crone I see as being very protective of her children, protective of her grandchildren, protective of her environment, and she knows how to do it with almost a masculine energy. I take charge, and I'm not saying male or female, I'm saying masculine. Okay, then we go over to here, and you see I have my hyssop. Hyssop is very bitter, so this might be a very bitter tea. In fact, it is. Hyssop I also see for purification, for protection. Again, really getting into that protective vibe. I feel like I need to protect my energy, or I need to protect my environment. I need to protect ideas. You put that into whatever context you wish. Going over here, we have mullein. And sometimes I just will have a mullein tea, but mullein I think is really good for protection, again, purification. This one has a lot to it: divination, health, courage, exorcism, deflection. This is like the ultimate crone energy herb, just kick ass. And then you'll recognize this little yellow flower over here, and that is yarrow. And yarrow, I believe, is good for courage, divination, exorcism, psychic powers. So to me, this is a very strong tea, and actually it is a very bitter, strong tasting blend, but very powerful in knowing your power and being able to exercise your power, being able to put up shields where you need to put up shields, being able to stand your ground, being able to protect yourself and others. And I think that this is a very good mix for that. So with these particular teas, I like to use my reusable brew bags, and I get this for pretty cheap. It's like a couple dollars off of Amazon. Gotta love that Amazon. And the little bags look just like this. So I would take my mortar and pestle and go ahead and crush it up, and then place it in this wonderful little reusable bag. So that's it, you guys. Those are my 3 teas, my hashtag triple goddess tea that I had help coming up with this with my friend Sherribug D. So thank you very, very much for helping me to come up with this awesome tag. Let me know what you guys use, you know, when you're trying to invoke the energies of Maiden, of Mother, of Crone. You know, what type of tea blends would you come up with? Do you agree with all the things that I have chosen? You know, what are the things that you like that I've added? What would you substitute? I'm always looking for new tea ideas, so it's not like you're going to hurt my feelings or anything. I do love my own blend, so of course I would, you know, keep using this, but you know, I'm always open to new ideas and being able to substitute, you know, make new stuff. As you know, I love playing with my herbs. So anyway, that's it for me, spiritual homies. I really hope that you jump on this tag, so hashtag triple goddess tea. Hey, if you guys want to catch a reading with me, don't forget to head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. I also have healing salves, I have bracelets, I have room and body sprays, which actually some of my room and body sprays are back there. And also head over to patreon.com, where we're coming up with lots of awesome stuff, which we're working on my oracle deck, which is coming soon. You guys will start seeing the cards for that coming in June. I'll start, you know, heavily working on that. And there is a meetup happening this summer, so go ahead and join the KWT tribe over on patreon.com/kittensweightsandtarot to see how you can get involved in that. And you get a bunch of freebies in the process. So I mean, like, hey. So that's it for me, spiritual homies. I will catch you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out!